Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I want to create a full face of Charlotte Tilbury products. And they were kind enough to send me a PR box, which I was very surprised because I had no idea it was coming about a month ago. I will link that video below where I unboxed the PR box just in case you are interested in watching that. But I was just floored, excited, so thankful and appreciative. But I own a lot of Charlotte Tilbury. For some reason, I fall for everything that she releases. And there have been some products that have really impressed me, and there's some that are on borderline. I will never lie to you, and just because they send me something in PR, I'll tell you that everything is amazing. I think there's definitely hits and fails, but still she has a lot of beautiful makeup. So she just released a brand new concealer. This is the packaging, which is absolutely gorgeous. Now the only place I was able to find it was on Nordstrom, and right now it's showing as not available. It is not on the Charlotte Tilbury website or on Sephora or anywhere else. So I have a feeling that Nordstrom released it earlier than they should have, and then they took it off the market, and I just happened to find it and accidentally, and I purchased it. So I just lucked out. I did get it online. I got it. I received it a couple of days ago. I wanted to test it for a couple of days, and later on I'm going to put some pictures of what it looked like when I had it on after 8 hours. But I'm excited to try this. Now I was not able to get her other concealer, which is still available, to work for me. I found it very drying to the point that after a few hours I can see like the dryness under my eyes. I do have dry under eyes now. I'm 70 years old, and this is one of the things that I battle with the most. My dry under eyes, I really have to hydrate them and really, you know, put a lot of effort into it in order to keep them hydrated. And some concealers work for me and some don't. So I will tell you a little bit more about how I feel from the couple of times that I used it already. But let's get started with the look, because I don't want this to take forever. So I do have the foundation that she reformulated not too long ago. I have the original. I'm almost out of that one, but I did repurchase a new one. This is definitely a full coverage foundation. Now sometimes when I don't want it to be full coverage, I do add like a couple of drops of a serum, but today we're going to use it normal. This is in shade 4, and it's a little light for me, but we're going to make it work. You know, this is something that I've been discussing with a couple of you guys in the comments, that I've been having such a difficult time choosing shades for concealers and for foundations. It seems like light neutral always worked for me, and now neutral sometimes is too warm, too yellow. So this foundation will cover all of your sins. It is a long-lasting foundation. This is not a foundation that I wear often, but if I want something that is full coverage, that is going to last for a long time, that once my natural oils come in, it looks even better, I do like to wear it. And like I said, I can manipulate it with a little bit of face serum, or if I want to use even a tinted bronze drops, it will make it a little darker and give it a little more, not make it quite as full coverage. So I can work with it. I even picked a darker shade than what I had in the original, and it's still too light. I had some left over. I used like a pump. The pump is pretty big, so see, it doesn't even look that light on there, but when I put it on my face, it just looks light to me. But once everything is on, it will be fine. So the way that I'm going to use it today is the way that I have tested it. I have a lot of dark circles, so many times I will use a corrector. So I do have the Charlotte Tilbury corrector. I'm going to use the corrector under one eye and not under the other. Now this eye here, I'm going to take a little bit of the foundation off that is really close to the under eye, so you guys can see better, because I want you to get a true picture of what this concealer does. So this eye here has a dark spot right there. So I'm not going to put the corrector on this one, and I'm not going to powder under that eye. I'm going to use the corrector under this eye here, and also powder under that eye, so that you guys can see the difference. And this is how I would normally, especially if I'm going to do a look for a special occasion, or you know, going out to dinner, I want to make sure that my makeup looks extra nice and that's going to last a long time. I go the extra mile. And that's the kind of occasion that I would probably use a full coverage foundation. On a day-to-day, I do not use a full coverage foundation. This is in the shade 2, which is medium. It is so cute. It looks like a little compact. It does have like a little mirror. But this is a really good one. This one is very hydrating. I think it's very smoothing. It looks really nice under the eye. Very easy to spread. So I really do enjoy it. So this is for the corrector. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the concealer. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit of information about the concealer. And it says a full coverage natural matte concealer powered by Powder Blur AirTech for up to 24 hours of creaseless wear. What it does, it is an instant life effect in a tube, 8 problems, 1 solution. Instantly airbrushes dark circles, blemishes, puffiness, texture, pigmentation, redness, pores, and shadows for flawless, real-looking skin. 34 air true shades with skin morphing pigments that sync to your natural skin tone to neutralize color and erase the look of imperfections. Key ingredients: supercharged skin morphing pigments, prevents creasing, and airbrushes skin tone and texture. Powder Blur AirTech instantly minimizes the look of imperfection, pores, and shines. So it tells you to just use a micro dot on your face. So a little goes a long ways. You don't need to put a lot. This is what the doe foot looks like. It is like a little triangle. It is not super large, which I appreciate. I prefer a applicator that is not humongous when I'm going to be using it in my eye area. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. I'm going to put some here because this area is getting very, very dark. I got mine in the shade 5, which it says is medium. What a hard time I had choosing a shade. So anyways, I decided to get shade 5 and pray about it. I used it yesterday and the day before, and it looked fine. Now, I only took pictures yesterday. I got here on Tuesday. I had some errands to run and things like that, so I didn't really have time to do much with it. So what I did is I just applied it. I mainly just wanted to see if it creased, how it looked at the end of the day, if it looked dry. So I wasn't really, you know, like taking pictures or anything like that. I was just keeping an eye on what I was doing during the day. But I feel like it was very nice. Like I said, I will post pictures, and it was an 8-hour wear yesterday. But it looked very nice at the end of the day. So this is what it looks like without any kind of corrector underneath. I'm not going to powder this side. Hopefully I'll remember when it's time to powder. Have a hard time with that. I didn't powder both days that I tried it. Neither day that I put a corrector underneath. I only put powder under one of the eyes. And it feels like it brings, let me see, where's the box? It tells me how much it brings. 0.29 fluid ounces. 8.3 grams, which I feel is quite a bit for a concealer. And I will list on here what the price was. I really don't remember right now what it was. But wow, I really think that I lucked out and I got it before it was supposed to be released. Because I would say that Charlotte will have it on her website before anybody else, right? The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. It is very, very pretty. Like most of her packaging is. I think that Charlotte Tilbury, if there is one area that you can't criticize, is her packaging. I think her packaging always looks absolutely luxurious and beautiful and very feminine. So I do enjoy that. You pay for it, but it's very nice. I'll swatch it on my hand. I feel like it is not a very thick formula. It doesn't feel super liquidy. It feels more serum-y to me when you put it on your hand. But it doesn't feel watery, but it doesn't feel super thick either. It's kind of middle of the road. It says that it's full. Oh, no, I can do it. I don't have. I was going to say, what am I doing? No, it's okay. It feels middle of the road. Now, I can still see darkness here, so I'm going to try to build it up a little bit right there. But this eye does have a little more darkness than the other one because of that. I have like a dark spot right where I have the dark circle. So it's like a bonus darkness under my eye. Okay, so let's blend this really quick. That looks better. And it covered quite a bit more. So I'm going to powder this side. Now, I did run out of the Charlotte Tilbury powder. And I haven't repurchased it because I own so many powders right now that I feel guilty repurchasing it. So I'm going to use the Givenchy. I always say that wrong. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the original one. This is the good one that everybody was so upset that it was taken off the market. But I do still own some of it, so I'm going to take advantage of it. So anyways, I'm going to use just a tiny bit. I'm not going to tell you much about the powder because you can't get it anymore. I just want to use a tiny bit right there. And then I'm going to take a little bit on the lid, and I'm just going to grab a brush and just dust it all over. You really don't need a lot of powder, if any, with this foundation, because this foundation pretty much, it is a little sticky actually. Still feels a little sticky, but it does settle down where I don't feel like you really need powder. All right, so that's what my under eyes look like. I will give you a close-up so that you can see. I'm gonna use the bronzer, and this is the AIRBRUSH bronzer in shade number 2. I'm gonna use the same brush that I use for the powder. I'm just gonna put a little bit. With this foundation, I really feel like I need to use a little bit of bronzer to bring some life back to my face. And I do have her cream bronzer, but I prefer the powder bronzer more than the cream bronzer. So, and I love cream bronzers. That's nothing to do with not liking cream bronzers. I just prefer her formula for the powder than for the cream. For blushes, I have some choices. Last year, she released some cream blushes, and I have 3 of them. This one is Berry Glow, this one is Rosy Glow, and this one is Peachy Glow. I think I'm going to use the Rosy Glow. And even though I already powdered a little bit, I feel like these work absolutely magical and beautiful, even over a little bit of powder. I am going to put it on the back of my hand instead of going directly on my face, and I'm going to use the BK Beauty 101. This is a clean one, to just pounce it on my face. These blushes are absolutely gorgeous. They are not too glowy. They're not matte. They melt into your skin. They last all day. They're just gorgeous. That's why I own 3 of them. And it gives you a little bit of glow, so I feel that you really don't need any highlighter if you don't want to wear highlighter, but it's up to you. Today, and I'm just probably going to put a little bit on just because I'm doing a full face, but I don't always wear highlighter, and I don't always wear bronzer, but I always wear blush. If I do my makeup, I always wear blush. Or sometimes I wear like a bronzer that has like a little bit of red or pink in it. And that kind of like a bronzer, is that what you call them? And that works. Look how pretty that looks. It looks so natural. It is so easy to blend. This is like, you can't mess it up. You really cannot. I think you would have to try really, really hard to mess up these blushes. They're so easy. So I don't think today I'm going to be using any other products that she actually sent me, because most of what she sent me was, she did send me the a blush of, you know, the one that comes in the little tube. I like these better, the ones that come in these stick. I find it, I don't know, I just feel like they look prettier on the skin. They look really, really beautiful. I'm just going to go around the edge with my foundation brush. Okay, Okay, I already have my brows done. I used the Benefit brow pen, the Mighty Fine brow pen. I really have been liking this. I feel like my brows don't look too dark, too overdone. And then I use, this is a little sample that they sent me, the 24-hour brow setter. I think this one is really nice. It doesn't make your brows crunchy, but it has great hold. So I think both of these are a great combo. I really do enjoy that. I'm going to put a little bit of eye primer on. I'm using the Sigma eye priming stick, and this is in the shade Ignite, which is pretty like a beigey color. I'm just going to use this brush to spread it around. And this is also, you can just wear this on its own. If I wear it on its own, just to like cancel out any redness or veining or anything that I have on my eyes, I do just a little bit of powder over it to make sure that it doesn't crease. And you don't need a lot. If you put a lot, it is going to crease for sure, because sometimes I get carried away and I put on way too much. But I like this because I don't feel that it's super tacky, that it's hard for you to glide your eyeshadows over it, but it does give you a clean canvas to do your eyeshadows. I think it's really, really nice. I think my favorite Charlotte Tilbury palette is this one right here. She released, I believe it was 6 of them, either 5 or 6 of them last year. These are called the Beautifying Eye Trends, and mine is in the super neutral. She did have one that had like a purple theme, and then like plummies, green. I think she had one that was like blues, but that's not what I'm looking for. Those are not my kind of shades. So I'm going to start with this one right here, which is like a taupe. Actually, does it have, I think it's called, has to be matte silk. Okay, I get so confused with when they put the shades on because it's always backwards. So it only has 3 shimmers, these 3. This one I really don't mess with too much, but these 2 are absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to start with that matte one, and we're going to start that on the crease. I've been enjoying using like a really big brush, a thick brush, to kind of like blend the edges. Makes it a little easier to just blend the edge really quick. A big brush does it in like no time. Okay, I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to go to this brown one down here. A lot of people were upset over the packaging of these palettes, but it doesn't bother me. I care more about what's inside than the packaging. I feel like her quads can be hit or miss. Sometimes they just don't give me enough color payoff, and I need a little more color than some of her quads. Some of her quads are light, but some people like really light eyeshadow. So I think she has a, you know, something for everyone. But I just think the formula on these eyeshadow palettes are superb. I truly believe that these have to be a different formula than her regular eyeshadows. They're so beautiful. I'm going to take this one right here. The other one's more like a topper, so I'm going to take this one. This one is called Crystal Chrome. So pretty. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to wear that all over my lid. And I'm just going to go with a little bit of that topper over it. So this can be like a quick, I'm going to take a clean eyeshadow brush and just kind of blend. This can be like a very quick look. I'm going to take, this one is called Diamond Dimension. This one right here. I'm going to grab a little bit with my pinky. I am going to just pat it in the middle. That is beautiful. So pretty. Okay, let me match this eye and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to take a more precise pencil. This is from Sigma. This is a Sigma F63. And I'm going to go into this dark brown just a little bit. and just apply it out here. The brush that I was using in the beginning, and just blend that. I'm going to take the big brush. This is a Sigma eye primer. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use that brush. I'm going to pick up just a little bit on the edge. I just want to brighten this up a little bit. My inner corner. I don't want my inner corner to be super dark. Okay, then I'm going to take a flat brush, and the middle color right here, the one that I used all over the lid, I'm going to grab a little bit of that because I can be a little more precise, and just put it right there. That's a beautiful shade. Okay, I'm going to wipe that brush. Then I'm going to take a little bit of this taupey color right here, the first one that I used on my crease, and put it on the brush. Just go on my lower lash line. I don't want my lower lash line very, very dark. So I think that shade is just perfect for that. I think I'm done with the eyeshadow. Okay, for mascara, they did send me a mascara. When they sent me the PR package, they sent me this one, which is such a beautiful mascara. This is the Exaggerized Volume Mascara. I don't want to open it because I have so many mascaras that are open right now. But I did go through an entire tube of this mascara that I purchased myself, and it's beautiful. It gives you thick, long lashes. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I only use it on my top lashes because it does, since I wear so much skincare under my eyes, it will break the mascara down. Just about any mascara, unless it's waterproof or tubing, and it will make a mess. So I'm going to use a little bit of the setting spray, and they did send me this one, a full size of this one, and they sent me the matte one, which I love. Okay. So I'm going to just spray a little bit now before I put on my mascara. Now, what I normally do is 99% of the time, I forget to wear setting spray. Or I forget to spray it on before I do my mascara. And when that happens, if I decide that I do want to wear setting spray, I just spray my brush, whatever brush I use for my powder, and I go over my face with it. Right now I'm doing it just to take the little droplets off my face because I don't want any. So I'm going to use a bubble mascara today. This is a really nice mascara. This is from Maybelline, and it's a really pretty mascara. It gives you really beautiful lashes. Okay, this is what it looks like with just a few strokes for the first coat. Let me do 2 coats and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, the Colossal Bubble gives you really nice lashes. And then I use the e.l.f. lash extender on my lower lash line because I know that this one is not going to flake, it's not going to smudge. It's going to look amazing the whole day. Okay, so this is the Pillow Talk Glow highlighter. It has like a little pinky undertone, which is what I absolutely love. And I really don't think that you need it with this blush if you don't want to. I think that you have a little bit of a natural glow, but just to show you what it looks like. And I do have texture on my temples, so I try not to take it up too high, because I would say unless it's one of those highlighters that are almost balmy, like the one from, this is just the one that I use for the blush, but it's dry. The one from Merit, that one doesn't accentuate the texture on my face, on my temples. Or the one from L'Oreal, the one that is very similar, almost like a dupe for the Merit. Those are balmy. They really just looks like you have a glow from within. So I don't need to worry about those too much. Okay, so now for lips. I have quite a few full-size lipsticks from Charlotte Tilbury, but I want to use this one. This is for my birthday. I was able to get a little free trio from their website as my birthday gift. So I want to go ahead and use this one, and this is in the shade 90s Pink. And if it's too pinky, I brought a backup that I can wear over it. And I do have some Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, but I didn't have one that would match. So this one is from Persona, and it's in the shade 90210. This lip liner, you barely have to touch your lips. It is so soft, so glidey. That is what the lipstick looks like. There are many lipsticks, are super mini. But I love them for traveling or have a small purse. Also, they're very convenient for small purses. It's pretty, it's not too light. I can work with that. That's a very pretty shade. Pinkier on my hand, but maybe it's because of the lip liner. Because even though I didn't go over my entire lip with a lip liner, I think a lip liner really can change the shade of a lipstick. So sometimes when you have a lipstick that you don't like, don't rule it out. Try with a lip liner, something like a little darker. Like if it's a pink, do like a deeper rose color or something like that. Or something that has like a little bit of brown. Like this one has a little bit of browns. That's the lip liner, that's the lipstick. And even though I didn't fill my lips with a lip liner, I think that it does help neutralize, make the lipstick a little more neutral. So this is my entire look with Charlotte Tilbury products. The only thing I didn't have was the powder and my brows and mascara. And like I said, I do have that mascara, but I hate to open another mascara. I need to go through some of my mascaras and finish them off. But I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette, guys. This to me is the prettiest one. I went back to see when she was having a sale if I can get another one. I think it's her best formula, but I can't find another color story that really is calling my name. I think this one is just, if you love neutrals, this is absolutely gorgeous. And I think the only place you can find it is on her website. I know that Sephora, I'm pretty sure, doesn't carry it anymore. And I don't believe Ulta does either. I know when I was looking around, I'm pretty sure that the only place I found it was on the Charlotte Tilbury website. But this is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I don't think the foundation looks too light anymore. I think it looks fine. I like this. Now, I feel that if you already own the Estee Lauder Double Wear, the new one, you don't need this. I feel like the Estee Lauder Double Wear, if you love that one, that's a beautiful, beautiful concealer. And if I had to choose between that one and this one, it's a pretty close, but I think I would stick with the Estee Lauder. Now this one, I like 1000% more than her other one. I could not get the other one to work. The other one went bad on me within 6 months of me purchasing it. And I'm really hoping that's not the case here. I really haven't heard anybody else saying that they had that problem with her other concealer. So I think maybe I got a bad batch. Maybe that's why it was dry. You know, maybe it sat in a warehouse for a long time and it went dry, and that's why it went bad so quickly. I know this one is not old because it's not even available anymore. So I really think that Nordstrom let it out of the bag before they were supposed to. They've done that before. I think they did that before with a Victoria Beckham eyeshadow palette. I think the Bordeaux one. I think they released it and they weren't supposed to, and then they took it off the market. I didn't get that one. I wasn't able to snatch it before they took it back, and then I had to wait weeks to get it. But this is very, very pretty. I don't know if I'll be able to link it. I don't think so. I'll link it on the Nordstrom because right now it's just saying, you know, that it's not available, but I'm sure that if you can probably sign up for an email whenever it's available. But I think it's beautiful. I think you get a lot of product. The packaging is very weighty. It feels very luxe. It feels amazing. Right now, I'm going to put the pictures of what it looked like when I first applied it, and then what it looked like 8 hours later, so that you can see that it looked pretty good. Now, it's the full coverage. I think that as the day goes by, the coverage goes away a little bit, and you'll see that in the picture. I feel like my under eye looked a little darker after the 8 hours. It was still there, you know, it was still okay. But I feel like the Estee Lauder looks just as beautiful at the end of the day as it does when you first apply it. Do I like this concealer? Yes, I like it. I will use it. Yeah, I would say if I had to make a choice whether to get this one or the Estee Lauder one, I will go with the Estee Lauder one. But still, if you're a Charlotte Tilbury fan, if you like to get all her products, I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you don't have dry under eyes, I think you'll even love this even more because I don't feel like it's drying. It's a super hydrating. I don't know. I like it. That's all I can say. I'm not sorry I have it. I'm glad I purchased it. I'm going to use it. I think it looks pretty. I think even the one without the corrector looks pretty good. It gave me enough coverage. I don't think you have to really build it a lot. If you saw, I didn't put a lot of product in there, and it did a good job. I just added a little extra right there where I have the dark spot. So anyway, you guys, let me know, are you thinking about purchasing this? Have you even heard about this product being released? Out of all the products that I tried from Charlotte Tilbury, if I had to pick my favorite products, it would be this eyeshadow palette. I absolutely love these blushes. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're comfortable. They don't dry down to a powder. I mean, you can still, if you touch your cheek, I can still feel it. If that bothers you, just dust a little bit of powder over it, translucent powder over it, and it's going to feel better. Or you can go over it with a blush, but to me, that's kind of defeating the purpose. I'm going to use two blushes, okay? So I never do that. It doesn't bother me, but again, I don't have hair that goes on my face. But I don't think it's sticky enough that your hair will stick on your face. So I don't think that's an issue. I love these. I think they're beautiful. Initially, I only bought these two, and then I added this one to my collection. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think her mascara is a beautiful mascara. Now, do you need a pricey mascara like this one? No, you don't. But if you like luxury mascaras, this is a really good one. This gives you great length, great volume. Your lashes are going to look amazing. It lasts all day. It doesn't flake. It doesn't smudge. I love the setting spray. I also really like the matte one. And I think that one, especially in the summer, is going to come in so handy because I live in Florida, very hot, very humid, and yeah, the makeup can just melt off your face. I love her lipsticks. Really, I really enjoy 99% of her products. These two, they're good. Is it a must? Is there something that I say you have to run and get it? No, but it's not bad. I'm not going to tell you they're bad. But this is full coverage. If you want a full coverage foundation, this is it. This will cover every one of your sins. And this is nice. It's very nice. I think you get quite a bit of product. You don't need to use a lot. I feel it's so much better than her other concealer. So if you didn't like that one, you may really love this one. And if you love the other one, you're really going to be ecstatic with this one, because I feel like this one is so much more hydrating than the other one. But again, if you're on the fence, this one or Estee Lauder Double Wear, Estee Lauder Double Wear. But I have another luxury concealer that I'm going to be reviewing pretty soon, but I don't have it yet. It's not here yet. I really do enjoy the Charlotte Tilbury product. I think she has a really good brand, but like every brand, not every product in a brand is going to be amazing. And that happens with every single brand. I don't think I have one brand that I love every single product from. All right, you guys, have an amazing day, night, weekend, whenever it is you're watching this. Once again, thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have not subscribed yet, I hope you decide to subscribe to my channel so we can get to know each other better. If you have a hype to spare, I would appreciate if you hype this video, you like it, and you leave me a comment, even if it's just a heart, just to let me know that you were here. I love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.